Okay, guys, we're back. It is story time. Okay, you guys, this was the year of 1998, I believe. Okay, so this was the year 1998, y'all. I was like working for this temp agency. So I get in there, I'm working for about 3 months, I believe. I'm working my ass off. My supervisor called me in her office. She said, hey, she said, I see that you put in an application for, you know, full time and you want to work for us. I said, yeah, I did. She said, well, we got a job to offer you. I said, you do? She was like, yeah, we got a job for you. And we want to know, would you accept it? I said, wait, what do you got me doing? She said, what you doing now, but you're going to be the team lead. I said, what you say? Well, since you know the job, you don't have to do orientation. You don't have to do anything. Starting tomorrow, you come in as the lead, team lead. I said, what? I was like, look at God. It's me and 4 other people work up under me, right? So anyway, y'all, it started off really, really rocky. I couldn't keep any team. Every time somebody get on, they'll quit. So I was like, man, I can't never keep anybody on my team. Because honestly, the job can be stressful if you don't know it. Once you know the job, it's smooth sailing. Okay. So anyway, y'all, I end up getting a team that actually stayed with me. And actually they stayed with me for about a year. Maybe a year or two. They stayed with me. I'm not for sure. But anyway, it was 4 guys. So I'm just going to keep it 100. It was one guy was a Mexican. He was Mexican. The other guy, he was from Bosnia. And my other guy, he was from Kenya. And the other guy, he was from Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So y'all, they was cool. I didn't have any problems. I told them how to do the job. And what I was doing was I was training each and every one of them on each job so they all know the job. We doing good. Every month we became first place. And when you become first place on your team, you get you get a grocery card, you get some treats, you get your picture when you first walk in the door, So every month, me and my team, we always come in first place. I was just so happy because I was doing a job that I love to do, and I finally had a team that worked with me. So anyway, y'all, like they said, don't never get cool with your co-workers, always be neutral with your co-worker. But y'all, it wasn't like that with us. It was like we was a family. We had been working so long together, almost 2 years together, that we just became family. When I had a cookout, they would come to my house. When they have birthday parties for their kids, I would take my kids. Now, one guy, I've been knowing him the longest because me and him both was in and out temp agencies. So I had been knowing him longer than all of them. I want to say I had been knowing him at least 2 years before them. So altogether, I've been knowing him like 4 years, and we became really, really cool. We was like sisters and brothers. Okay. I usually go home for lunch, but this particular day, I just decided to stay at work and eat lunch. So I go in the lunchroom and sit down and eat my lunch. So when I get in there, y'all, it's a girl. It's always somebody at a job. It's always somebody at the job that either be the talking person, keeping shit going at the job. You got somebody at that job that love to keep shit going. And this girl, she was that person. So I didn't, fuck with her. I kind of like stay away from her as much as possible. When she speak to me, I'll speak to her and I just keep it moving because I didn't like the way she did things. So anyway, So we sitting at the lunch table and shit. I'm sitting on a table like, a little ways from them. I'm sitting more closer to the window. They more closer to the wall. So it was like maybe 4 other tables in between us. Okay. But you can hear everything that is going on. You can hear people conversation and things like that. So me, I just really tuned them out. I didn't pay them no attention. I just was doing my thing. So she said, guys, I got something to tell you. One of my teams asked me, would I marry them? And he would give me $20,000 if I would marry him. And everybody was like, what? So when she said that, I kind of like looked over there at them. She was like, yeah, he's been asking me for the last month if I can help him get himself a green card. And I told him no at first, but he just keep asking me. So I told him that I would do it. And he said if I do it, he'll give me $5,000 to start it. And then he'll give me the rest when we get married. And so y'all, I accepted. She say I took the money and now we in the process of getting his papers, done. And I looked, I was like, damn. So I just, tune myself out. So she's like, yeah, and also he got a couple of friends that need my help too. So I got some girlfriends that's going to help them as well. So my girlfriend's going to hook up with his friends and they going to get money from them and they going to do what I'm doing. They're going to get married to them as well so they can stay in the U.S. like that. So I'm like, oh, hell no. It's what I'm saying. And I'm saying to myself, if you got some shit like that going on, why you over here telling everybody? You could have kept that to yourself. That ain't nobody business but you and that man. Why would you do that? And I was just saying to myself, this sneaky ass bitch, this bitch is just low. You know what I'm saying? That was just something you should have just kept to yourself. So I just picked up my shit and I left. So I go back, back to my station and I'm just talking to my peoples because we all back there, my rest of my team, we back there, we just talking and we laughing and everything. So we finished working for the day. The day was over with. So I leave, I go home and shit. So the next day, I come to work. So I come to work and shit. I see a whole bunch of police cars, big vans, trucks and shit just surrounding the job. And I'm like, what the fuck did happen? What's going on? So I was scared to go in because I'm like, shit, I hope it ain't no bomb in this motherfucker. I'm finna turn my ass back around. Like that. So I called my supervisor. I said, hey, what's going on? She said, I was on my way back there to get you. I said, no, I'm just getting here. She said, well, when you get in, come see me. And I was like, okay, I will. Like that. So I get in, I had to show my badge. I had to put in another code. I had to, say all the procedures to the police officer. And they looking at my badge. They doing all this type of stuff. And I'm like, damn, what did happen? Is what I'm keep bothering me. I want to know what happened. So then I get to my supervisor. She said, come on, I want to talk to you. So we go into her office. So we went in her office and she said, hey, she said, a quick question. She said, were you in the cafeteria with this, that, and other? And I was like, yeah. She said, did you overhear her say that she took money from a guy that needed his green card? Like that. And I was like, no, quickly. Because it's not my business. I said, no, I didn't hear that. I said, I was too busy in my phone and listening to my music. So no, I didn't hear her, say nothing like that. She said, well, they told me that you was in there too and you could be a witness as well. Because we found out that she was trying to help somebody get their immigration papers, and she called in on them. She turned them in. So we want to make sure if she had a part of it, we want to make sure she get in trouble just as well as he get into trouble. Like that. So we want to know, did she take the money from him? That is what we want to know. Did you hear her say she took $5,000 from him? And I told her, no, I didn't. But y'all, I did. I did hear her say that. But I didn't want to get involved with that. That was not my business. My name is West. I'm not in that mess. So I told her, no, I didn't hear anything about it. She said, that's strange. She said, because people said that you was there and you overheard too. I said, I don't know what it gave them that idea, because I had my earphones on and on my phone. So how did they know if I heard that? I say, I didn't hear it, and that's that. So she said, okay, all right, I'm gonna let you go so you can get back to work. I said, all right, then, see you later. So as I'm walking, I'm like, this dirty ass bitch. I knew I couldn't stand this bitch. I knew it was just something about this bitch I didn't like. I said, this motherfucking bitch called immigration on these people up here. So not only that, y'all, he wasn't the only immigrant there. It was a lot of immigrants there. As I'm walking to my station, y'all, I'm seeing people coming out with handcuffs. I'm seeing people crying and shit. I'm like, what the fuck did this bitch do? What did she do? So I get back there to my desk with my peoples, and everybody was like really, really sad. So I'm looking at them. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? I brought treats. And they was like, oh, thank you. And everybody was sad. And so I said, what's wrong? So the Mexican guy, he said, immigration is here. He said, I'm not a citizen. He said, I'm over here, on my visa. The Bosnia guy said the same thing. I'm over here on a visa. The African guy from Kenya and the other African guy, he said that they both was on visas. So all four of them was not citizens. They was over here on visas. I'm fucked up because I'm like, damn, really, y'all? So my supervisor called me. She said, hey, send your guys up to the front. They want to talk to them. So I say, why do I gotta tell them? I say, why can't y'all send somebody back here? She said, no, you need to tell them to come up to the front. So I said, okay. So I go sit back down. I say, hey, you guys, they want to see y'all at the front. So they was looking for their cards, their visa cards, and they was used to listening for, I don't know how it went. They was looking for their things to go talk to the people. So they got everything they needed, went up there, they talked to them. So they all came back. And I was like, so how did it go? Now the guy that I had been knowing for years, for 4 years, he was like, it don't look good for me. And I was like, wow, why? He was like, well, actually, my visa gonna expire within a week. Like that. And I was like, for real? And he was like, yeah. I said, but damn, you've been over here for so long. He said, yeah, I know, and I always take care of that. He said, but something went wrong this time where they said that they wasn't gonna renew it. And I was like, damn, like that. Me, I know nothing about this stuff. Nothing. I'm learning this right then, right there. I knew nothing. So anyway, it went from a happy team where we all talked and got along and had a good time, and from that to the most sad team ever, because these guys was really hurt because they didn't know what was going to happen to them. And the only reason why immigration was there because of that girl. Okay. it still made me mad today because she had no right to do all of that. That's just how I felt about that. So anyway, we go home. I'm getting ready to leave. I get outside. My car's not there. So I'm like, this fool that came up here and took my car. So y'all, I am with kids in a 16-year relationship. Okay? You know, you might as well say we was married, but we wasn't. But we had children together. Okay? And they all knew that I was in a relationship. None of them made a pass at me. None of them tried to come on to me or anything because they knew my guy and they all got along. So as I said, I walked out the door. I didn't have a car, so I didn't work. I didn't work too far from the job, but I worked far enough where if I wanted to walk, I can. So I get out there and I'm like, fuck it, let me start walking. So I start walking. So I end up seeing Musa because that's his name. That's the one I had been knowing for 4 years. I end up seeing Musa. Musa said, hey, what you doing walking? I said, well, my car's not here. He said, do you want to ride? I was like, yeah, I'll get a ride from you. So we get in the car, we riding. And then he said, you my friend? I'm like, yeah. He said, to me, you're more than a friend to me. You're my family. You're like my sister. He said, if I need a favor from you, would you do it? I said, it depends on what the favor is. I said, you know, Musa, me and you cool, you know? And if anything I could do to help you, if I can help you, I will. So he was like, I'm really needing the help. He said, in order for me to stay in America, I will need to get married. And I said, oh, okay, like that. Now, I have heard about these things, you know, marrying people so they can stay in the United States. I already know about these things. Actually, I had a girlfriend in high school marry an African guy, and once they got married, he paid her and gave her everything, but once they got married, he flipped the script. He told her that you're now my wife, and now you will come live with me, and you're not gonna go home anymore. You know, he did a U-turn on her ass. You know what I'm saying? Because the deal was just for them to get married and he go his way, she go her way. But he didn't want that. Once he married her, he started saying, you my wife, you need to be with me and this and that and that. It was just a big old mess. And she was in high school. Yes, in high school. She was 18 years old. And she married that African man. But it was just a big old thing at high school. Okay, so back to me. So I'm already knowing a little bit about this stuff. That end anyway. So he was like, I would just want to know, will you marry me so I can stay in the United States? And I say, you gonna ask me this? I say, don't ask me nothing like this. I said, you know damn well that I am in a relationship, common law married, and I have a beautiful family. I said, I'm not finna marry you. He was like, I will give you $10,000 now, and then when we get married, I'll give you the other $10,000. I said, no. I said, your money ain't good here. I said, you are not worth no $20,000, baby, to marry. I say, my children and my significant other is everything to me. I will not. I say, you're talking to the wrong person. And I said, you really then fucked up with me by saying that to me. I said, it looked like our friendship gonna go down the drain for you to ask me something like that. Well, you know, we friends help each other. I say, yeah, friends help each other out, but motherfucker not like that. I say, you ain't worth me sitting behind the motherfucking bar, and you ain't worth me losing my family. $10,000 ain't shit to me. I said $20,000 ain't shit to me. I said, you could take that $20,000 and shove it up your ass like that. And I said, let me out of this motherfucker. He was like, no, I don't want you to be mad at me. I don't want you to be mad at me. I said, well, I am. I said, you asked me this shit twice. Then he was like, I just really need your help. You said you was my best friend. You said you was my sister. Anything I can do to help you? I said, yes, anything I can do to help you, I will try to help you. I said, but this right here, I am not going to help you with. He was like, you don't know nobody? I said, I know nobody that's going to marry you for you to stay here and get your papers. I said, no. And I said, please don't ask me about this anymore. Okay? And he was like, got mad, like, I can't believe you. I thought friends mean bond and closeness and help one another out. I say, I don't give a fuck what friend you thought you had, but it ain't me. You are not worth it. Okay? So anyway, I was like, don't take me home. Drop me off at the store. I got to get some stuff. Well, I can wait for you when you get to the store. I said, no, I'm good. Just go ahead and leave. I'm good. You can go back to whatever you're going to do. I say, I'm just going to get out in the store and then I'm just going to go on to the store. And he was like, okay. So you pull up at the store and before I got the car, and he said, can you think about it? I turned around and looked at his ass and snapped the door and said, hell no. And so I went on in the store. So I called my guy, told him to come and get me. So he come and get me. I go home. I'm just in a fucked up mood all day. I'm just pissed off about what went down, you know. So the next day I go to work. The Mexican guy, he's not there. So I'm like, what happened? They was like, they got him. You know, immigration got him. I say, you bullshitting. They was like, yeah. So the guy from Bosnia was still there, and the guy from Kenya was there. I can't remember, y'all, exactly where these guys were from, but I know they was from Africa, okay? And Musa wasn't there. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, damn, Musa not here? And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's up with that. So anyway, y'all, we working. We didn't talk too much because we was trying to get our work done because there was so much work piled up on us. So we working. We didn't want to work too long, you know. So we hurry up and start working real fast. So we got all the work done and everything we needed to get done. So when we got it all done, so they started talking to me. They started explaining to me what happened, you know, with their green card or you know, they passed, whatever it was. They just started explaining to me what happened, what their situation was, like that. And I was like, okay. So it was just a lot. It was just so much on me because here's some good guys that work their ass off, you know, got family, you know, need to stay over here because they want to be here. So I'm just like, I don't even know what to say anymore. All I could do was just listen because I don't know nothing about this stuff. So the next day, we finish our work, we go home. The next day, the Mexican guy, he didn't come back to work. But Musa, he came back to work. So Musa came in, he was like, hey everybody, everybody spoke. I say, hey. So I just started, you know, finishing up my work. I really didn't say anything to him, you know. So he was like, I can't stay. I'm gonna work. He said, I'm gonna work another week. I'm gonna work all next week, but after next week, it's, you know, would be my last week working. And I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, he said, I'm sorry. He apologized to me. He told me he was sorry. And he wished he would have never approached me like that and things like that. And I told him, and I said, it's cool, Musa. I said, I understand. I said, because you're in a desperate need of help. And you figured that you don't know nobody that, you know, why not ask me? But I was like, no, never. You know, and he said, I understand. So anyway, it was the weekend. I go home. So as soon as I get home, I get on the phone talking to my kid's godmother, who I'm real cool with. I talk to her about everything. So I called her and I told her, I said, girl, it was just a big mess at work. This girl called immigration, motherfuckers was being locked up, taken away, and all this type of shit. I say people is asking me to marry them so they can get their papers, and I told them no. And she was like, who asked you to marry you? I was like, girl, this guy asked me to marry him like that. In order for him to stay in the United States, he got to get married. And she was like, who was he? You know him? I'm like, yeah, I know him pretty good. You know, she was like, bitch, I'll marry him. Bitch, I will marry him. Fuck what you talking about. I'll marry him. I was like, bitch, you crazy. She said, I'm for real. I would marry him. I say, she was like, give him my phone number. Give me my phone number. I was like, I'm not finna get involved with that shit. I'm not finna give him shit like that. She said, well, I just come up to his job. His name is Musa. I'm just gonna ask somebody, and do they know who Musa is? So I was like, bitch, no, you ain't gonna do that. Oh, yes, I am. So I was like, girl, let me let you go. So I hung up the phone talking to her. So the next day, y'all, I get to work. It's early in the morning. Guess who's sitting in the parking lot trying to find out who Musa is? Like, this motherfucker is for real. She is up here at this job looking for this guy. So I walk past her car. I say, bitch, what you doing up here? Bitch, I told you, I'm looking for Musa. I say, girl, you crazy. Are you really gonna do this shit? She was like, bitch, yeah. So I was like, okay. So I just walked away. I went in and shit, and I sat down and I just started doing my work. So I noticed Musa came in a little bit behind me, and he was like, hey, this woman approached me and said that she know that I needed to marry somebody so I can get my papers. And I was like, for real? She said, she told me that she knew you. I say, what? I was like, this bitch. I say, who? I don't know nobody. I ain't told nobody no shit like that. She said, yeah. She said she know you. And I say, what the fuck? I was like, no, it ain't me. She said, yeah. She said that she was your kid's godmother. I just started laughing. I say, nah. And I walked away. So y'all, the weeks went on. Everybody ended up leaving. I ended up staying at that job for about 10 years. So let me tell y'all what happened with her. She ended up losing her job, and she ended up going to jail because she took money from him. That's all I know about it. See, that's what you get. You turned that man in, and your ass ended up going to jail as well. You see what I'm saying? Karma is a motherfucker. See how things work? She did all that shit to hurt that guy and his friends, and they came back and got her ass and locked her up too. They found out she did take that $5,000 because she lied and told them that she didn't. She did take that $5,000 and they got her ass. But yeah, y'all, that's the end of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Okay? Get down in the comments and leave me a comment. Like I said, I don't know anything what happened to those guys, but wherever they at, I wish them well, and I hope they are living their best life, because those were some good guys. They was the best team I have ever had at that job, and we worked together and we got along real good. So I wish wherever they at in this world that they are doing good and in the best of health and the richest people on this earth. Okay? So y'all, that's it. That is it for the story. I hope you guys enjoyed. In the meantime, between time, God bless. Y'all stay safe and never ever let anybody sit on your happiness.